If Glacier National Park is on your bucket list for this summer, first off, good choice. We applaud you. Secondly, we're breaking down where you need a vehicle reservation, when you need to get it, and how to get it. That's all coming up on this episode of We're No Damn Experts.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river tame. If you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth,
and we're No Damn Experts.
Fresh off our
I
world
was just
tour.
going to say, fresh off our world tour. We, if you did not know, we had the privilege of presenting at the Montana Governor's Conference, which was earlier this week. And we made so many more fans. So thank you,
right.
all Governor's
Hello.
Conference attendees, for laughing along with our jokes, with being interested in what we're doing, but most importantly, for tuning in to learn everything there is to ever know about the community of Great Falls,
That's
Montana.
right. Welcome to all of our hundreds of thousands of new subscribers.
So stoked.
Yes.
I'm so stoked. Today, we have something that will, I think, benefit not just Montanans, not just travelers, and it's not just about Great Falls.
No.
Although, the premier thing you should be doing is making your plans to come to Great Falls for your vacation.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a weekend or a week or 2 weeks or a month or 6 months. This is going to be something you put on your list, especially if you're a first-time visitor.
That's right.
So, Shannon, with that interlude, what is happening over on the other side of the table?
Yeah. So for the past few years, Glacier National Park has gone to a reservation system in order to get in. And every year it's changed a little bit.
It's a little bit of a pilot program
It
still.
is,
And
yeah.
each year they're refining it.
They're refining and making adjustments. So this episode for you is about what you need to know if you want to go to Glacier National Park this summer.
This is like version 6 or 5 of the
Yeah.
golden ticket. So we did
Yeah.
an episode when this first launched on getting your golden ticket, you know, as a play on Willy Wonka. So
Or
you're,
the Office's version of the Willy Wonka, which is what I think of.
yeah.
Michael Scott.
You know, now that I think of it, it might have been the Office version.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of Willy Wonka, but knowing Maudie, it was probably related to the
Yeah.
Office because she was.
And the Office episode is based off of the Willy Wonka idea,
Yeah.
so it's all
all
connected.
connected.
Yeah.
So your newest version of how to get your golden ticket
Yeah.
into Glacier National Park.
And this is something where a lot of people who come into our office who are visiting don't realize that they had to have
A
a
reservation.
reservation. So
But last
Yeah.
year, you know, fewer and fewer, because last
Yeah.
year you didn't need a reservation to do the
From-
good side.
that's right, which is the east side, which is the one that's closest to us here in Great Falls. So that continues to be the case this year, that Great Falls, coming to Great Falls, going in the east side is the best way to do Glacier.
Best side?
I know
East
usually
side is the best
it's like
side.
usually west rhymes with best, but that is not the case here. East side is going to be your best option. Not just because you come and fly in or drive into Great Falls for it, but because you once again do not need a reservation any time of year to get in to the east side of the park.
That makes me happy.
Oh, so happy. And it makes your life so much easier if you come to Great Falls.
End of episode.
Boom. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know anything about the other side of the park. Just know you can come in this side, no reservation.
Now, is
That's the
there
headline.
construction again this year to contend with?
Of course, there's
Of
construction.
course.
Yeah.
And when we say east side, we're talking all 3 east sides. So Badger 2 Medicine, St. Mary's entrance, and Mini Glacier entrance.
Correct. Yep. None of that side. So maybe it might be easier this year to say the places that you do need a reservation.
Okay.
So there's 2 places this year you need a reservation, which is down one from last year, I believe. It doesn't matter. We don't need to confuse people. So the 2 areas where you do need a reservation to access Glacier Park this summer is the west side for going to the Sun Road.
Okay.
If you're accessing going to the Sun from the west entrance, and then the North Fork,
Okay.
you need a reservation.
Okay.
Yep. And the
So
North
Pole Bridge, free and clear.
you can go into Pole Bridge.
Yay.
You can access the town of Pole Bridge, but further beyond that. And also the North Fork in that area it might seem weird because that is the more like real remote. You have no cell service out there. The only place where there's any type of amenity is in Pole Bridge, and that's limited. So it's more kind of remote, but also it's getting more popular. And because it is more remote, there's not as, you don't want to crowd that out there.
It is pretty interesting what happens when you restrict access to one area, how people will flock into areas that there weren't a lot of people before.
Right.
It's almost like it was done by design.
Right. Weird. Which is also why I'm pleasantly surprised that the East Side still does not have reservations, because that was kind of a question last year when they did that. Because 3 years ago, you did have to have one, I believe. But then last year they changed it so East Side you didn't have to. I was like, okay, well, maybe that won't stick because.
But it was also East Side didn't have reservations in certain times.
Yeah.
But then there was another part of the year where you did.
Correct. It was like not until July or something. So
don't even worry about that.
Again, that doesn't matter. It's just the fact is
keep that out of your mind.
It changes every year, but it stayed the same this year where the East Side, you don't have to have a reservation.
Any time of the year, at any time, East Side, Best Side,
Absolutely.
Open access.
Absolutely.
As soon as they get the snow plowed.
As soon as, Well, okay. And that's the thing too, we should mention. So there's more entrances into Glacier than just going to the Sun. And there's more places to go in Glacier besides just going to the Sun Road. That being said, if you want to be able to do the entirety of going to the Sun Road, you have to wait till all the snow is clear, which varies year to year. I'm going to say this year they're going to be able to open pretty early.
Is that your bet?
That's my bet. Last year, 2 years ago, they opened like middle of June, which was really early. I'm going to say they're going to be able to do that again this year.
Okay.
That's my bet. Sometimes it's not till after the 4th of July.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be late. I
don't
think
it'll be
I think we'll be like the later half of June.
Okay. We should do an office bet pool on which day. Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, we could also, if you join us on our Facebook group, which I learned is not easy to find. That's why I only have one follower.
It's not.
So I'm going to get the link and put it in a join our conversation. And maybe that gets you from our We're No Damn podcast.
I mean,
that's true too.
Yeah.
We're no damn experts.com. So you'll find the link there once I get it figured out.
Okay.
It's a work in progress, people.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, tell us your guess for
when
opening
you
date.
when you think they'll be open, and we're gonna make you pick an actual date. You can't
you can't say general. It has to be specific.
Like me and say at least the second half of June.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be mid. Just because even though, we've gotten some warmer weather, we've also gotten a lot of weird snow along with that.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think we melt and build. But then I also am saying that because we aren't seeing the water flows of the Missouri come up very much.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Usually that's my indicator of things are coming along.
Yeah. My husband, the meteorologist, has said that it is because it's just kind of already slowly been happening rather than like a big melt at once. I think that's
well, then
what he
I
said.
would still think water levels would be coming up in the Missouri.
Yeah, I don't know.
And water levels have dropped this week, and it's pretty low to start with.
Do you have a water gauge out there? Or
No, we watch the U.S. Geological
so you're paying attention.
CFS thing.
Yeah. Which
whatever that
I need
stands
to
for.
learn more about CFS because people will say that, and I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know what that means.
What I know is low is bad, high is goodish. But then if it gets too high, then it's bad again.
Yeah. And I guess is it the same good measures of good and bad whether you're fishing or floating? Like, does it good or bad depend on what you're doing on the river? Or is it
I
all the
don't
same?
think
Good.
so.
Okay.
I would say the difference between fishing and flooding. Here we've entered in a world neither one of us know anything about. But I would say the difference between fishing and floating when it comes to CFS is if it's early, like if it's really fast and it's really early, which makes the Missouri extremely muddy.
Yeah.
Then the fishing's probably
That's probably not as good. Yeah.
But maybe it's better. I don't have any idea.
Well, I think
I'm really just along for the ride and to look pretty in the boat.
I think for those who got the Drew Smith River one, there's a very like sweet spot for that because I've heard people who have to walk their boat for part of that.
We were down at the river at Easter, and there's definitely some spots on the Missouri where you won't move if you're in a boat. It's more of a hiking trail than I would say a place to put your boat.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just keep an eye on that. Yeah.
So we don't know when the park fully or when going to the Sun Road opens. What are the things you can do, Shannon, in Two Medicine and in Mini Glacier if going to the Sun isn't open?
Yep. I looked up information about the reservation system, not the rest of the things to do.
Oh, well, you can hike.
Yes, you can hike. I mean, I do know that. Yes, you can animal watch.
Yeah.
You can still get all the wildlife. There's still plenty of places to hike, drive, pull over, all of those things.
And then as a reminder, Mini Glacier has a place to stay. They have a lodge. Two Medicine does not. That's camping. Camping only.
I do have things to say, though, about the Mini Glacier area.
All right. Well, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. Not so much things to do, but things to be aware of. So they're doing construction there.
Still.
Yeah. So it's they'll have extremely limited parking in the Swift Current area, which is Mini Glacier area. The park will restrict personal vehicle access into Mini Glacier and provide a temporary shuttle service for hikers to access Mini Glacier and Swift Current July, August, and part of September.
Does it say where you're supposed to put your personal vehicle?
Access to trails will begin at the Mini Glacier Hotel upper parking lot. Detours may add up to an extra mile each way in hiking distances. No, not on this one.
I'm sure
there's a sign because that area is kind of a one way in, one way out area. So you would see.
Yeah, there's not like a ton of options.
No. So if you're going there, it will be obvious where the parking area is.
And you won't be distracted by a lot of buildings.
No. Nope. It'll be pretty clear. You might be distracted by an animal.
Yep.
But it'll be pretty clear. So just be aware that you're not going to be able to drive your vehicle all the way up there. June, you still can. July and August and early September, they'll have the shuttle service available. So be aware of that. I'm guessing if you're staying at the lodge,
you'll be fine.
You'll be able to go. But if you're just hiking in the area, you're going to have a shuttle.
Let me share for all of you sitting on your couch or in your vehicle going, pish posh, I don't like this at all. Hey, it's the way of the world, people.
Yeah.
You go to Zion, that's the only option.
Right.
Is to park and take the bus in.
Yeah.
So sign of the times, Simon. And honestly, nothing's better than having somebody else drive you.
It is a nice way to, you can look a little more. You don't have to worry about stuff. I don't mind the shuttle idea.
I don't either. Yes, it is a pain in the butt that you will not have complete control over what you're able to do.
But it still gives you access.
You're on vacation.
Right.
Take some time to relax, for goodness sakes.
Exactly.
I don't know how many times we have to tell people, hey, you're on vacation. Just enjoy the ride.
Just relax. Everything's fine.
Take in the scenery. Breathe deep.
Yeah. What you want to do in Glacier.
Spend time
with
fresh
someone. Mountain air.
Make a new friend in line. I don't care what you do. There's an opportunity to have fun.
And the whole reason behind having a reservation system is so that in the areas where you are driving, you can still drive. It's first and foremost for the benefit of the land and animals there. And two, so you actually can find somewhere to park in the limited parking areas that are on going to the Sun Road, for example. So while you may complain, and I know locals don't love that there's a reservation system, it is so those who go into the park can still have a good experience and the land and the animals are still respected.
I'm going to tell a little tale on myself
Okay.
because I am one of those people that I don't like reservations. I
Yeah.
don't like having them. I don't like making them. I don't like figuring out 5 weeks from now
Yep.
when and where I want to have dinner and then call and make a reservation.
Yep.
Not my style.
Mine either.
But you know what I do like about the reservation is I know
You have a
at
spot.
that time and at that location, all eyes on me.
Yep.
It's all about me, all about everything I want, and everything is going to be focused on me doing what I want to do. So let's just pick what perspective you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I certainly love being the center of attention, and that's really what a reservation will do.
Yeah.
Now, with that, I'm going to make some shout outs for going to the Sun Highway as well. You don't need a reservation to get into the park. You still need to pay for your park entrance. But maybe, just maybe, what you want to do is book a tour, whether it be the red buses,
Red jammers.
maybe you. I'm going to give a shout out to my new friend. I think we're going to be new friends. Well, Derek, I'm sorry, I'm claiming you as a friend. Derek DeRocher with Sun Tours out of East Glacier gives you a really great perspective of the native lands from that area.
Yeah.
So you could do that and do some education and learn a little bit. You could just do the red jumpers and just see stuff. Jammers, jumpers, same thing. And then just enjoy the relaxing tour. Both good options. And then you just show up and they'll drive you in and then they'll drop you back off.
That's right.
I've never done that. I think that's the premier way to do it.
It's a good way. I did like a 3-day guided hike tour. Actually, have I told you a story? I was supposed to go to the Sperry Chalet.
I don't
And
think
it
you
was,
have.
it was 2017. Yeah. And sure.
Sounds good. I don't know.
Somewhere in there,
I
I was
wasn't
trying,
there.
I was trying to think of when it burned. Anyway, so I had, this had been gifted to me, this like 3-day guided glacier experience. And we were supposed to stay. You went in and you stayed at the Sperry Chalet.
Sounds really cool.
And then everything else you did hikes in and out of there. And they provided food. They would like cook you dinner back at the chalet. They provided lunch and you had guided. Also, this was during the eclipse, one of the first times. It was during this time frame.
Okay.
But then, like right before my scheduled trip is when Sperry Chalet caught on fire. There were all those wildfires in Glacier. And so sadly, the Sperry Chalet is no more. It burned. So that was really sad because I was supposed to get to stay there, especially because it was like right on the edge of when it happened. But we ended up staying at this old ranch near Duck Lake where, guess what? Charlie Russell worked when he first came out to Montana.
For real, Shannon?
For real.
You're just making it up.
Nope. Not making it up. That is for real. This land, it was just outside on the east side there. They put us up there instead. Learned that's where
little
kid Russell was.
Yeah, Russell did spend some time up in the Glacier area, so I can't call you a complete liar. So.
Yeah, so it was on this ranch area where we were.
That sounds pretty neat.
So it was still an incredible experience. The point being to all of this is that they, bussed us in. We had our guided hike. The eclipse thing was extra cool because they had all the fancy binocular things so we could actually see it. We'd stopped on our hike. So it was a cool place to experience it. But you don't worry about things then.
Yeah.
And I made friends from New Jersey on there and all kinds of stuff.
That's the nice part. I'm going to switch gears a little bit. On the west side, the wicked side of the west. I'm joking. Our friends on the west side are good too. But on the west side, you have to have your reservation, and that's year round. There's no, from June to June 15th.
Nope, there's dates.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Do you also still have if you're in before a certain time, out after an event on the west side? Again,
correct.
East side, best side?
Yep.
No rules?
Correct.
It's the wild, wild west?
That's correct. The only rules on the east side are when you have to grab the shuttle. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word all of a sudden. Okay, let me just break this down because there is a new element to the reservation system this year on the west side.
Okay.
So we've went over this.
It opens and then you have to get
timing
for these
wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give
So,
us the
okay.
Here.
Yep.
Hey, folks, let's just give you a little moment for
Let's
a breather.
lock in.
Get
Yep.
some paper, get some pen.
We'll have links in the show notes for you too.
You'll want to replay this portion a bit
Yes.
back and forth because this does get a little, I say, confusing.
It does.
Even you're going to explain it extremely well.
I will certainly try.
You're still going to be confused.
You will. Okay. So east side, no reservations.
We can't say it enough.
Right. That's
East
the
side,
best
side.
Now, that means you can enter through the east side St. Mary entrance to go on Going to the Sun Road. You can go east to west and back with no reservation. However, if you go from the east, enter the east side, and you go out the west side or go past that point, in order to turn around and come back, you would have to have a reservation.
Yep.
So just be aware that there is a certain point that don't pass go on that side, because then you would need to come back on Highway 2 on the southern tip of Glacier, which, by the way, is gorgeous, and that's not
It's
a bad option
fantastic.
at all to do that. So just be aware of that. So
You
that was
get,
one thing I wanted to
Goat
say.
Lick.
To
my
Goat
fa-
Lick. I know, that's such a cool place. Really, that would be a great day, is for you to go on the east side,
Side
going to the
out
sun, east to west.
To Goat Lick.
Hang out at Apgar Village over there on the west side, then take Highway 2 down and come back to Great Falls that way.
Yep.
Really, that would be a great day trip for you.
FYI, we would love for you to make that a day trip.
Please do.
I'm going
It's
to
an early
tell
day.
you, that is a big day.
It's a long day.
You may want to not do it in a day.
Yeah.
Just
Or you need
pro
a full day for that,
Yeah.
for sure.
early.
The
late.
nice thing is summer days, you get a lot of
There's
light in
that.
the summer. So you can really kind of do sun up to sundown, and that's your full day.
We don't want to lead you astray. You
Right.
can do it in a day.
It's just a long day.
It's a big, big day.
Yeah.
And you're not really going to get a lot of hiking time in. But
Correct. Yeah. This is just a viewing, like car viewing
Yep.
trip day.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So all that being said, let's talk about the areas where you need reservations. They're called timed entry vehicle reservations, required for the west side, Going to the Sun Road, and the North Fork.
Okay.
This is applicable June 13th through September 28th. And I will say the start of the reservations are a little bit later this year. They started,
Oh.
some of them started late May last year. So this year, reservations for West Side, Going to the Sun entrance, and North Fork, June 13th through September 28th, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., meaning you can go into the park before 7 a.m.
Okay.
or after 3 p.m.
No time
no
reservation.
Correct. Now, you heard me say timed entry reservation. It's a little bit different this year.
You
So
have to pick your time.
you pick a time.
I'm on
Yeah.
board with this.
Okay.
I know that this is going to be a
This
pain
is
in the
going to
butt.
make more sense, though, for people, I
yeah,
think.
this is actually a big
This is smart.
benefit. It's going to make it
So
a lot
then you
better.
don't have, right
all
at that
day.
7 a.m. time, a huge long line.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I'll go back because you have your rolling reservation and day before reservation options. We're going to talk about that in a second. But right now I want to talk about the timed entry part. So you get a vehicle reservation. There are entry time blocks in 2-hour increments.
Oh,
So 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 9 to 11, 11 to 1, 1 to 3.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you I'm a fan. I think this
It's
is
going to
brilliant.
make it's going to space out traffic more. It's going to get you through the
Yeah,
entrance faster.
And it gives you a nice window
Uh-huh.
because
Yep.
sometimes you're like, oh, hey, you can arrive early, hang out for a little bit, and then be like, oh, I'm going to be get in line. But then if you're running a little bit late, you're still good.
Right. And that doesn't mean you're in and out of the park in that time. You go
Oh,
you
no,
go
that's
in
your- yeah.
and then you have the rest of the day. And if you miss your time block reservation,
Yeah.
you just get to go in after 3 p.m.
Okay.
So
Not bad.
if you miss it, you miss it, basically. Okay. So that was the big change this year, was that now there are these timed entry blocks. So to get your reservation, you have to go to recreation.gov. That's the same, always has
Yep.
been.
Create an account.
Yeah, you create an account, which I would
Unless
do.
you already have an account.
Right. So recreation.gov. So be prepared. You'll have to pick one of those timed block entries. Okay. There are 2 different kinds of reservations.
Oh no.
Okay. This isn't different, really. So they have a portion of vehicle reservations made available 120 days in advance. So we're already past when, if you wanted to go in June 13th, we're already past that time. But say you're planning for August, you want to come in August, get on recreation.gov 120 days prior to the date that you want to be in the park, and you can get that. So right now we're looking at August if you want to make a rolling reservation for August.
Okay.
Okay. The other option is the next day vehicle reservations. Those are available on recreation.gov at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Montana time, for the next day.
Okay.
So that starts June 12th because reservations
Would be
system
June
starts
13th.
on June 13th. So then all throughout the summer, and this is great for locals, say you're more sporadic or you're like me where I'm like, oh, I need to, want to see what's happening. Then you get on at 7 p.m. on recreation
The night
before. And I say 7 p.m. because they will go very fast. So you don't want to be like, oh, it's just any time after 7 p.m. Like, no,
Nope.
like set your alarm.
Be on
There's
there at
only a
7.
limited number of them. Have your account created already. Go on at 7 p.m. And then you're going to pick your times for that next day entry.
Okay. So far, not bad.
So that's it. So
That's it.
Yep.
That's the deal.
The big changes were just a little bit of an adjustment in where you need the reservation and then the timed entry component of the reservation.
If you're going to play along at home for the guessing of when you think the snow is going to be gone,
Yeah.
my guess is Glacier National Park thinks it's going to be June 13th.
Right. Uh-huh. See, I said mid part of June. But they did.
They're not experts at that either.
They might know a little better than us. They get to see it. But I mean, last year, like the reservations have always started
Before
the roads actually plowed all the way.
That's true.
So
do we have construction on the west side still?
I think that one might be wrapped up.
That's good because that was a little bit of chaos.
The Swift Current area is the biggest area that I'm seeing so far mentioned. Now, that being said, Glacier you can keep up on any particular project they have going on their website. They'll keep that updated. Let me just double check that.
While you're looking, because it's so easy to look and talk at the same time.
Yes.
Is the reservation ticket still $2?
Oh, good question. Let's just pull up recreation.gov right now and see what we can find.
Because it's
not
been
mentioned
just
on
a
there.
$2. And the other thing is, I know a lot of people kind of hedge their bets and maybe buy multiple options because it is only $2.
Yeah.
So you can,
if you're lucky enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other question that I have, which has been kind of a holdover, is if you have like a reservation inside the park. Let's say you've got a reservation to stay at McDonald Lodge.
Yep.
Do you still need to get your reservation ticket? Because in the past, the reservation has been the hotel reservation has been your ticket in.
Yes.
And you don't need the timed entry reservation ticket.
That's correct. That's still applicable. So if you have lodging, camping reservation, activity reservation, anything like that where you're inside of the reservation area, that counts as your reservation, your timed entry. Right. So it says within those specific areas, you can use your reservation, meaning your activity or lodging reservation, as proof of entry, basically. Now, you still need a park pass.
Yep. You still need
a park
that.
pass. That's not in place of that. But if you have an activity or anything lodging booked inside a reservation area, that counts.
The other thing to know about your national park pass, if you buy just the one pass to get into the park, it's valid for 7 days for all national parks.
Oh, that was the other thing too that I don't see on here, but I'm assuming is because last year in the past they've had, your reservations good for like 1 day or 3 days, something like that. I don't see anything specific on there, so I'm going to say, it's a 1 day pass. So just keep that in mind too. That doesn't then get you in forever.
For 3 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It is $2. Mm-hmm.
$2 for the timed entry reservation on the west side.
And North Fork. Mm-hmm.
Recreation.gov. So that's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. And then before 7 or after 3, no need to worry about the golden ticket.
Correct.
And then east side, no need to worry about the golden ticket.
Nope. Yeah. So those are really the main things this year. I feel like it's gotten a little bit easier to comprehend over the last couple of years.
I like the time block because it limits the amount of traffic on that day, but it doesn't limit the amount of traffic at a time.
Right.
And so I think that really helps with the timed entry.
Yeah.
That's a kudos, Glacier National Park.
I mean, the ones who are on it and get like the first ones and can get in the first time block are going to get the most time in the park. That's the only thing, is if you wanted to go on a big hiking trip, say on the Highline Trail, you'd ideally want to have the earlier one.
Yep.
But again, that time of year, thankfully, sun doesn't go down until pretty late at night, and the park is open 24/7. You don't get kicked out at dark. So
they don't lock you in.
Right.
Which is helpful.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't advise being in the middle of the Highline Trail at midnight, but
do you?
Yeah.
But make sure if
I
you're
won't be going with you, but yeah,
that you're a seasoned outdoors person
and have some bear spray,
and you know how
where
to
you're
handle
going.
the wilderness.
Have a headlamp.
Yep. Have a plan. Have a point of safety.
That's right. Yeah.
If you don't, we can help you figure those things out.
Right.
Actually, we can't, but we know
know people
who can help you be a little bit more wise when you're in the outdoors.
I will say this, that you can, on the west side, you can access Apgar Village without a reservation.
Yep.
So know that, the entrance, the area. So you can go, eat there. You can go, part of Lake McDonald you can see from the Apgar Village, that area. So you can, on the west side, still get into that part of it without a reservation.
The other thing I'm going to say is, let's say all of this is just way too much for you and you write off Glacier National Park.
Please don't.
First, that's silly.
That is very silly.
This
is meant to make your experience better.
Yeah, it's going to make your experience better. But also, a little bit of work is what really makes it even better. Okay? So, has anything that's been wonderful come easy to you? No. But I will say, for some reason, you decide you can't get in, or you don't want to go, or whatever the deal is. There are proprietors outside of Glacier National Park that will take you on guided hikes or hikes into other areas that I'm going to say are glacier-like. They're going to have a lot of that same kind of mountain scenery. So you might want to consider some of those options as well.
Yeah.
Our friends out in the Shoto area have Dropstone Outfitting. They can do stock-assisted backpacking trips into the Bob Marshall Wilderness.
Yeah.
So you've got other options if you want to really have kind of this glacier-esque experience, but there's just too many people for you.
Yeah.
Some people don't like to people when they're on vacation. So
I understand that. Yeah.
there's other options for you. Just know that.
Right.
And we can help connect you with the people we know that we like.
Yeah.
And we'll connect you with the people we don't know and may like.
And don't like. I'm just kidding.
Who knows?
There's options.
But we can help connect you with those things depending on what that experience is. I will just say that there's not a ton of those kind of options. So if you're looking for a laundry list and I give you 2 people, it's because there's only 2 people.
Yeah.
But
They're
it's still an experience that you can have. It's connected to Glacier. That's not necessarily like Glacier. I feel like I say this every year. So
yeah, we have talked about that before, where it's not going to be Glacier, but you're going to get very much a similar experience. Yeah.
Nothing compares to going to the Sun Road.
Right.
Nothing compares to Glacier. And if you haven't done that as part of your experience, no one's going to replace that.
Right.
Nothing is going to replace that. So yes, you're going to have to do it. But if you've done it and you're like, I just want to be near Glacier, we got you.
I got that. And again, east side, there's a lot of stuff out on the east side and close to East Glacier too. That's going to be beautiful.
We do get that. A majority of people are just going into Glacier National Park to go on the road and be done. That's it.
They just want to drive that.
But Glacier is a hiking park. It is an outdoor recreation area. That's what people go to Glacier to do. So if you're going to be hiking, then the east entrance or the east side of that park is really the best side, again, because there's a lot of trail systems. Now, maybe some of your favorite trails for Glacier are on the west side. Well, you got the golden ticket option there.
Right.
Make that happen for yourself. But explore the east side, in our opinion. No reservations, less hassle. Got a great shuttle going into the Swift Current area.
Yep.
A lot of trail systems on both St. Mary's, Mini Glacier, and the Two Medicine entrances. Three entrances, for goodness sakes. And, of course, Duck Lake area. So,
yeah. One of my favorites is you go to the Mini Glacier. It's hike up to Grinnell Lake. It's a long hike. It's a big day, but it's stunning. You get up there and it's just the glacier water, that like blue teal water, and you can step in it after a hot day of hiking and then eat your lunch looking at that. Highly recommend. And just a reminder, any tribal members always get in. So you don't need a reservation. So
either side.
Yeah. And that's part of the American Indian Religious Freedom Act. So no reservations required for tribal members.
Yeah, because
their land.
Yep. Not much more to say there.
Let's see. And it says here too, just to remind people that entry could be temporarily restricted in areas like Two Medicine if they do become more congested. So just be aware of, even if the places don't have a reservation, if they're feeling that day is just getting too congested, it could temporarily be.
So things could change without warning.
Yeah.
And your response should be, thanks for making this a great experience for those people who are trying to have a fun time.
Absolutely. Because you wouldn't want to go in there when it's too congested anyway. Yep.
Correct.
They do have, it says you can sign up for text alerts and they'll give you updates on temporary restrictions. So I'll try to throw that in the show notes too, so you can sign up with Glacier for text updates.
That's a pretty neat feature.
That is, where you get cell service. Yeah.
Right. Or connect to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You know, those fun things. Any other nuggets of wisdom that you need to share with us, Shannon, about the ticket? Golden ticket this year.
I'm just checking my notes here. I think we really got most of it. Just a reminder, from Great Falls to the St. Mary entrance, which is the east side entrance to going to the Sun Road, 2.5 hours from Great Falls. So,
and the most dramatic entrance. You're going from the plains to the very tall mountains.
Yep. And you see some really, it's really cool.
And there's, again, like 3 to 4 different ways you can get to St. Mary's entrance from Great Falls. They're all going in the similar direction, but some different alternative routes depending on what kind of an experience you want to have. And we are here for you to figure out what that might be. We'll give you the pros, we'll give you the cons, we'll give you our opinions, we'll give you some options. You have to make the decision. It's the deal of being an adult and being in the world today. The decision is ultimately yours. But we're here to help. You can always call us at 406-761-4436. You can become a liker of our Facebook page and ask questions there. You can connect with us at information@visitgreatfalls.org. And again, in the near future, I think there'll be a link on our podcast webpage, we're nodamexperts.com, where you can just click the link and become a follower so that you can engage if you want. Not a big deal.
And you have to tell us your guesses for when Going to the Sun will open. Are you gonna declare yours right now?
I'm gonna go with June 22.
Ooh, that was good. I was thinking around that time too. Are we doing Price is Right rules, like closest without going over, or just closest?
I think closest.
Okay. I was originally thinking June 23rd. Let me pull up my calendar.
$1.
We're getting we're putting our dates down before the rest of the team, huh?
Well, it's our podcast, so we get to do it.
Yes, we do.
You can't pick the same date.
I'm going to say June. I was trying to think, do you remember what day of the week it was that it traditionally opens?
I'm just going to tell you the plow workers work Monday through Friday, I think.
They don't work on the weekends?
I have no idea. I just made that up. And I think I'm 10% on that. I'm sure they have 2 crews that work.
Yeah, I was like, they're probably just
3
going
crews.
for it. Okay, I'm going to say June 16th.
Ooh. I think I'm going to win this one.
Yeah.
Between us two.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of them. Well, originally I was thinking June 23rd, which if that's it,
It's going to be funny.
Chance.
It's going to be funny if it is.
Can I pay more to play more dates?
Well, yeah, if it's a money pool, we can do that. But it's not, folks. It's just for fun. Well, there you have it. All the things that you need to know for this season of Glacier National Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was pretty simple and easy. And I think
compared to prior years,
other years, it's been a little bit more convoluted. And this is pretty simple and straightforward. I like it. I like the new timestamp. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what you're doing, Glacier National Park.
Good work.
Then we're here to help. And that's about it.
Yeah.
So until we see your bright, smiling, happy, healthy, beautiful, wonderful, sexy faces in our fine, fine city, we do hope you're creating amazing memories with your friends and family, wherever you might be. See you soon.
We Are No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.